Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Ladies, understand something. The top end of a woman's weight is 145 pounds. Okay. My mother's 5'9", and she was 145 pounds until she was 50. That's the top end of your weight, because there should be about a 40-pound difference between you and men.
Basically, if the guy is rich, what ends up happening is the lawyer contacts the person and be like, hey, you know, your name gonna be all in the paper, so you might as well just settle out of court.
I can recognize talent. Even if I don't agree with the politics, a lot of the politics that was underlying in the show and some of the sentiments he was trying to share, I recognize artistry when an artist is present.
Yes, this is the definition of absolutely cooked. We'll never go back and take a look at her bad decision and take accountability for any of that.
Because there is powerful people in the industry, somehow there is a different law that applies to them. And I agree with that assessment.
Yo, 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 what up, what up, what up, what up? Happy Friday. Peace and blessings to everybody in the building tonight. It's a rainy day. It got me a little loopy, but we here and it's nice. It feels good to be back with the people. How was your week? How's your social skills improving? How's your spiritual journey going? Have you had any productive conversations? Anything meaningful? We just here to kick it tonight, man. I got Sydney in the building. We might have somebody else pull up in a few. We're going to switch it tonight. I wanted to do an open mic, but things didn't pan out the way that I wanted it to, so we're going to switch it up here. I got 2 videos that we're going to react to, and let me know how you feel in the comment section about these 2 reaction videos, the subjects at hand. I'm going to bring Sydney up, and we're going to jump into tonight's show. So, I see the other individual has pulled up. I see you, sir. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring both of you up. I'll give you a chance to do a intro of yourself for the people, and we'll go from there. Y'all do me a solid. Make sure you are following, repost, let the people know that we are live. Shout outs to my poets, my writers, my content creators, all of you. Much love. Mike, Sydney, I'm bringing you up. What up? What up? What up?
Hello.
Alan and 64.
Cutting out a bit.
What? Yeah, a little audio, a little audio. No issues, brother. Say something now.
That better?
Give me a little bit more. I heard you, but I need a little bit more to know if it's still cutting in and out. Yeah, it's something going on with your audio. I see your lips moving, but I can't hear you.
Is he muted?
Try to leave out and come back in. Is your mic on mute?
High volume. But now
I hear you now.
the mic. I pressed on the mic. Now it's on.
I can hear you a little bit now. I don't know what it is. There's like this disconnect as you're talking. It kind of cuts in and out.
Oh.
Try to leave out and come back in. Sydney, what's going on?
Not too much. Just I don't know. I was really tired today, so I slept in the afternoon, which is not super typical. But I my kids even outlasted me while I was pseudo napping. My kids were jumping all over me like I was a trampoline. So I didn't necessarily get what my body expected to get out of that. But other than that, pretty good day. I have just been editing some poems, and I'm really trying to buckle down and get my book together because I really, really want to get it out, get at least one out before I do the book with the class that I'm in. The one that my friend's illustrating. I want to get that done by like June-ish. So I'm trying to push for that to be done. It's just challenging at this point because at this point I have done the writing and it's just the editing, so it's the less fun part.
Right. Well, I think you're going to get it done.
I keep reminding myself that I did it with my master's project, so I can do it with the poetry book. The poetry book is massively easier in comparison to all the work that goes into a research paper.
That's what I thought too. So I guess it really just all depends on you at this point. The ball is in your court.
I feel like it's the mental bit, with my paper, at least I knew it was just going to be my teachers and some of my classmates, but this is going to be public. So I think my mind is still hung up on, this is for public eyes. So there's that little bit of insecurity.
No, you'll be fine. You'll definitely be fine. You've never given me a reason to believe that you were incapable of doing this. I wouldn't stress or worry too much. Just stay on the course that you on. Shout out to Light and Love in the building. I appreciate you for pulling up. Happy Friday to you. I guess Mike is having some issues on his end. Mind you, if I'm not mistaken, he's in like, I don't want to get this wrong. I believe he said he was in like Taiwan or something like that. It's really far. He's not in the country, so I'm not sure if that has anything to do with it. But if he pulls back up, I'll bring him in. I do want to get into tonight's videos. This first one I'm gonna play, I never had this problem before, but I've heard people complaining about it. So I'm gonna play this one. I'm gonna let y'all hear it for yourself. And if you got any stories or any experience with this, please share. But I've never gone out with people and got stuck in a situation where someone was just assuming that I was going to foot the bill. Yeah, she sounded like she was kind of pissed off too when she was talking. Hold on, I'm gonna play it right now.
I'm sorry, let's talk about that real quick. I'm sorry, because here's the thing though. I'm sorry, let's just shift the gears real quick. All that, I was just having a conversation with Julian about this or whatever, because it's like, table etiquette is really important. I'm sorry, but I do not like going out to eat with a group of people who act like they cannot pick up a damn check. I don't like that. If everybody that sat here, also too, y'all need to stop being delusional. If it's 20 of y'all need to understand that it is 2023. A lot of these restaurants are not about to sit there and separate these checks by 20 checks. They're not finna do it. It's ghetto. It's giving ghetto. Like, y'all need to stop thinking that. If it's 20 of y'all and y'all go into a restaurant, I'm pretty sure that y'all gonna get shareables, appetizers. Everybody's gonna be digging in and eating. Everybody's gonna have their own entree. People are gonna be ordering drinks. At the end of the day, when the check comes, baby, just put your card down. There should not be no conversation about it. Put your card down. If you sat there and ate and you shared these shareables and all that other stuff or whatever, put your card down.
That's true.
But what I don't like is, especially when people sit back and act as if somebody's supposed to pay for the check for them and they don't even budge to sit there and go in their purse or their bag or their wallet to even act like they finna pay for anything. Like, I don't like that, because you know what that's gonna prompt me to do? The next time I'm gonna start coming in I'm ordering earlier, and I'm gonna tell the bartender or the waitress, put my shit on my tab. I'm separate from them. I don't know them. Will you bring out my food? Yeah, because I done did it before. Because I see, but I'm sorry.
Never had that happen before.
I've never sat with 20 people, 10 people, 6 people, 3 people. I've never sat with anyone at a restaurant and everybody looked at me to pay the bill. It's never happened before. I see Mike just pull back up. Let me see if we got his audio right. Hold on. Yo.
I went to settings.
I can hear you now.
You know?
Everything good?
Yeah, everything good for me.
What was that?
Everything good here.
All right. Did you get a chance to see the? Did you get to see the video I just played?
I cut out. What?
All right. this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play it again. I'm gonna play it one more time. I'll pass it. It's pretty much a young lady expressing her grievances towards people with bad table manners. I'm gonna play the video. I'll turn it over to Sydney, and then we'll go from Sydney to you, and we'll just go in the rotation like that.
Okay. Sorry, Sydney.
I'm sorry, let's talk about that real quick. I'm sorry, because here's the thing, though. I'm sorry. Let's just shift the gears real quick. All that, I was just having a conversation with Julian about this or whatever, because it's like, table etiquette is really important. I'm sorry, but I do not like going out to eat with a group of people who act like they cannot pick up a damn check. I don't like that. If everybody that sat here, also too, y'all need to stop being delusional. If it's 20 of y'all need to understand that it is 2023. A lot of these restaurants are not about to sit there and separate these checks by 20 checks. They're not finna do it. It's ghetto. It's giving ghetto. Like, y'all need to stop thinking that. If it's 20 of y'all and y'all go into a restaurant, I'm pretty sure that y'all gonna get shareables, appetizers. Everybody's gonna be digging in and eating. Everybody's gonna have their own entree. People are gonna be ordering drinks. At the end of the day, when the check comes, baby, just put your card down. There should not be no conversation about it. Put your card down. If you sat there and ate and you shared these shareables and all that other stuff or whatever, put your card down.
That's true.
But what I don't like is, especially when people sit back and act as if somebody's supposed to pay for the check for them, and they don't even budge to sit there and go in their purse or their bag or their wallet to even act like they finna pay for anything. Like, I don't like that, because you know what that's gonna prompt me to do? The next time I'm gonna start coming in I'm ordering earlier, and I'm gonna tell the bartender or the waitress, put my shit on my tab. I'm separate from them. I don't know them. When you bring out my food, because I done did it before. Because I see, but I'm sorry.
Yeah, I got it.
All right.
I haven't had this happen to me before because I am kind of antisocial. I don't really go out with people other than my family, my husband, or like my best friend. But I have heard this happening to other people. My husband and I actually watched a video a couple months ago of a man who was talking about this similar experience where he took his wife out, and they were there with, it probably was like 15, 20 people. It was like one of those really long ass tables. Everyone was on each side. And I don't remember if he overheard them talking about it, like he went to the restroom and when he was coming back he heard them saying something about it, or if his wife heard it and told him. But basically they were planning on, like, it was her and all of her female friends, and her friends were basically like, because your husband's the only man here, he's going to cover all of us. Like, he's paying for this whole meal. And so when he found this out, he like double crossed them and told the waitress ahead of time, like, put my wife and myself on a separate tab and give the rest to them. And so the whole the rest of the video was them like confronting him and being angry at him because they're like, you were supposed to pay for this, we didn't bring our money, like, we can't afford to pay for this, we wouldn't have ordered all of this if we knew that we weren't gonna have to pay for this. And I remember both myself and my husband were like, first of all, if you are going to a restaurant with anybody, especially if you don't know them, or if you're not, like, if I went to a restaurant with my husband, I still bring my wallet just in case. What if his card doesn't work? What if he loses it? There's so many reasons why you want to make sure you're at least covered. And then second of all, I would never expect someone else, even if I was on like a date or something, I would never look at the person and be like, oh, because you're the man, because of your gender, you have to pay for my meal. I would never do that in general. Like, oh, because you're here with me, you have to pay for this. It's ridiculous and very, very entitled to think that just because you're with a large group of people, you should split everything evenly and order whatever you want because it doesn't matter because everyone else is going to foot the bill for you. I think it's absolutely ridiculous that people have gotten so, as I said, selfish and entitled that they think that other people owe them something when they don't even want to put in, and they probably would never even return the favor.
Mike, you had a chance to see the video. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. Sounded like the first talking, you know, had self, had self. I agree a lot with. I'm sorry.
Sydney.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's okay.
I agree a lot with Sydney, and there's a few other things. I believe I don't know how many had for the meal, but there are unknown to some sort of layout plan for the person working because you can't order lobster, whatever, expect for everybody else to pay all the same. Hey, the guy who arranged dinner, that's got to be some on him because there's no clear communication about it. This always happens. It always happens. You know, uh, let's order this lobster. You know, we're all no, it's got to be something like there's couples right for couple and uh, $75, you know, much money.
Mike, time out. Are you on Wi-Fi or internet?
You got me.
If you're no you if you're on Wi-Fi, you got to switch over to internet because the Wi-Fi got you sounding real choppy.
Okay, so you want me to just go to Safari? I think I am on Safari. I went to Safari.
I'm talking about if you're on the stream using Wi-Fi, it's going to mess up the audio. It's going to make you sound robotic.
Okay,
So you have.
let me turn off the Wi-Fi. I hope I don't lose you, bro.
I'll be here. Oh yeah, that anybody who goes streams and you Wi-Fi will destroy your audio. It will destroy your visuals. I learned that the hard way. It's best to use direct internet. Trust me. And I did lose them. To be fair, this is probably like his third time up here. So this is what I'm gonna do. Because I know he was saying something that made a lot of sense. I really wish I could have made out what he was talking about. So I'm gonna pick back up where he left off.
I could
Um,
make out a little bit of what he said. Um, I know one of the things he was saying is he agreed, like, you should be modest when ordering. He was like, you shouldn't be ordering lobster if you're going to be going out with a bunch of people because that wouldn't be fair.
Okay, I tried
that
turning off my Wi-Fi and I lost you, so I had to turn it back on.
That seems better.
well, you sound clear now.
Remember, maybe I'm in Thailand. I don't know where you guys are, but this is amazing stuff just to be able to do this. But okay, I'll try talking into the mic better by holding up my phone or something. There you go.
You sound good, right there. Yep.
All right, yeah, that's what it was, bro. I'm sorry. I'm in my workshop and I got things just all kind of. All right. Wow, you sound better now. Okay, bro.
So just pick back up off where you left off at, because I missed a lot of it. Sydney caught more of it than I did.
Okay, can you hear me good now?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know where I got cut off with you, but
You're saying something about what people were ordering. Like, you were saying something about lobsters. that was the one word I made.
well, I think what I was saying was, I think they're first think back to the beginning. Who arranged the dinner? What was the dinner for? There should be more clear, like instructions, if you may, to how the plate is. If the bill is going to be sent at the end of the meal, then it should be clear that maybe someone's going to pay with like credit card or cash. You know, you pay with cash. You could just say cash only. That could be an instruction. So just bring enough cash for yourself, your partner. That would solve it. Or, make a limit on your meal. Make a limit on the meal so it's fair. That's the way to go.
I think most people just go out with the expectations of someone else always footing the bill. Everybody knows somebody who's just super generous, or they think because they got money that they just willingly want to go out of their way to take care of everything. And like I said, I've never been in that position before, not going out to eat, but I've been around people who would use you to pay for little things here and there because they know that you're just kind-hearted like that and you'll do it. Now, something you said about having a conversation about, like, all right, this is what we got here, this is what we're gonna do. This was like a birthday party or something like that. They were just going out to celebrate. Now you telling me 20 people are going out for this? You mean to tell me that there was no conversation? Y'all just automatically assumed that you're gonna have 20 people at this table and one person was gonna foot the bill for everybody. that don't sound right to me. That sounds like y'all just wanted to show up for the food, and this was going to be on that person's tab because it's their birthday. So yeah, what sense does that make? I think that's, and then on top of that, who goes anywhere without money? A card, pocket change, like you. I don't know.
Well, I agree with that. I never go out with a, you know, that would be no. And I can pay with my phone, but I always have cash just in case. And usually it's a lot more than 300, but because you never know. And that's a good idea.
Sydney, you was going to say something before?
A couple things. One, I was just gonna make the joke that I put in the chat. I have really bad ADHD, and I have a tendency to leave the house forgetting pretty major things that I need. So I can understand how somebody could accidentally forget their wallet, especially if you have other things that you're trying to do, if you have kids or whatever. But if you are knowingly going out with a group somewhere that requires money, it's a bit like there's a difference between forgetting when you go with your husband to the regular place that you go every single week and being like, oh, sorry, can you get it this time? But then there's a different scenario when you're with people, like a whole group of friends, and you're like, I'm gonna go crazy, get 3 meals, and then you guys have to help me pay for this because, well, we all did this together. This is your event, so you cover this. And to be honest, I think it's absolutely atrocious that people would make the birthday girl pay for all of them to hang out with her. That is absolutely ridiculous. Like, those are not real friends. If if it's your birthday and they're real friends, most likely, as long as they are financially secure and they're able to, and they care about you, they're gonna be like, no, let me get this for you. I got you. Like that. If they are telling you on your birthday to pay for their meals, that is not a good friend. And it's sad because this society is full of these entitled people. I have seen compilations of people asking for things on Craigslist or other, like eBay or whatever, like different, I need help with this. Can you help with this? And a stranger's like, yes, I have this thing you need, or I can help you with whatever. Like, and then the person wants them to still, the person receiving the free item still wants them to, like, oh, well, can you bring it to my house? Can you bring it into my house? Can you, like, they basically want the person to do all of the work. And there's this level of entitlement everywhere where people are like, well, I want it, and you seem to have the ability to do it, so you do it for me. And that's it. Like, no reciprocation, no, like, well, next time I got you, it's just, I don't pay it, so you do it. And I think it's sad that we've kind of hit that level where people are so self-serving that they just feel entitled to other people's money and they don't even care. And from what I've seen from scammers and other people that take advantage of people through whatever means, they really do not care. The way they talk, they very clearly do not have any empathy for that person. They don't have any consideration for the impacts they could be causing on that person's life by them not having money. And it's just sad.
I've gone out with people before, one or two, And I'll say, you know, I got this time, you know, or let's say it's a combination deal. I'll pay for the tickets. You get the snacks. It's always been that type of reciprocity. It was never either I covered everything and then you got me the next time, or we just kind of blended it all together. Because really the objective is not you want to have a good time, but you don't want to, you know, drain your wallet while doing it. I ain't got it like that to be splurging all willy-nilly. So if you got 10, 20 that you can spend to get the drinks and whatever, I'll make sure we got this, or vice versa. But it's always been that for me. I could never just go somewhere with somebody and feel comfortable with them paying for everything, especially knowing that's probably going to be held over my head forever. I can't go. I can't even go anywhere without a single dollar in my pocket. I wouldn't feel right. That's like it's almost like letting someone else drive you around. You're at their mercy. I can't be. I can't do it. I can't be in a car that I don't have no control over, because now you're telling me when I can leave, when you feel like getting up. Nah, I want to be able to move to and fro as I please. But I agree, there's a lot of self-serving people out here. A lot of them.
Yeah, I think basically the person who arranged it should have been more clear, because the way that she spoke in the video, it made it sound like things weren't clear. And if I'm gonna go out with somebody, if I'm gonna have a party for my girlfriend's birthday or whatever it is, I'm always footing the bill. I mean, there's really no question in my mind. I'm footing the bill, and I'm gonna know approximately what it is because I'm gonna know how many people there are. And about the sense of entitlement, you know, that covers that really. Then people don't even have to worry about it. But when you start, willy nilly without people in the know what to expect when it comes to payment, it could be easily arranged. You could just everybody pay for themselves. I don't like that. I don't like that. I like it when one person has a meal and then they pay with their card or cash or whatever they want to do. And I believe in that situation, from what I heard, that's what happened. Whoever arranged that meal didn't plan on paying for all of it. I've had situations in the past where there have been dinner plans, and then even after I heard about it all, I said, "Oh, you know what? Also, someone and someone is coming," and I would say, you know what? That's cool, you know, and I think that's just the way it should be. Uh, you have a designated person to pay, and if someone wants to help pitch in, cool. If they don't, the person that's willing to pay should willing to be walk away happy, paying for this delightful celebration.
I got a question. Do you think just because it's your birthday, all right, how can I frame this? Should you just automatically expect or assume that the people that are coming to this is going to pay? Should you just expect that because it's your day? Or
If it's my birthday,
I mean, just in general.
oh, okay. You know, if someone invites me to,
Uh-oh.
you know, I don't think if anybody did not ask me to pay for the whole bill, which in that case I would have said, no, sorry, I don't go that way. I would bring cash and I would pitch in. I wouldn't expect anybody to pay for me, but you know, if the guy says or the woman says, you know, we're having a party, I wouldn't. It's. I don't. I, I believe that's normal, but you know, but, but, but no, someone was dinner.
Going in and out again.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened. I ain't hear the last 30 seconds
Oh,
or so what you were saying.
can you hear me? Like that commercial.
I can hear you now.
Okay.
I can hear you now.
Uh, I, I don't think it's like a sense of entitlement. I don't think that relates. You know, I think it's what people expect. You know, and if someone invites me to a party, I'm willing to I'm willing to pay for my way, and I'll bring the cash to make sure. But I would think that the person that's holding the party is footing the bill. You know, if I was having a party, I I couldn't do it, man. I could not ask people to pay. I there's no way I would in my life would I ever do that. So that was like what I said in the last.
Gotcha. Go ahead, Sydney. You got it.
I think one of the things about it in general is you kind of have to establish the expectations beforehand. I think that's kind of where the problem lies because I don't think there's really a problem whether like they want to pay for the birthday person or if the birthday person is going to pay for everyone else. But I think that the person holding the party needs to establish that from the very beginning so people know what to expect. It's almost the same as like I don't know work parties or I don't know where I've seen it, but where people are saying like pay your own, like buy your own or pay for your own way. Um, where you really have an obligation to let them know. I think the entitlement comes when you don't tell them and then you still expect it. Where you get to like they get to the point where the check is there and it's now really uncomfortably awkward and the person has to be like I'm not paying for all of you in front of the waitress or the cashier or whatever, and that's a really, really uncomfortable situation for a lot of people to say, like, I'm not paying for you. And so I think that's when the kind of like entitlement and manipulation comes in, because they're using that moment. They know that it's uncomfortable for that person to reject, and so they're hoping by putting that pressure on them, they'll be forced to say yes. Um, so I think it depends on the situation, because there is a difference between a misunderstanding, or a flat out like taking advantage of somebody. Um, and I think also it's some people kind of hang out with certain types of people, and certain types of people are more likely to do those certain types of things. Um, so, in a sense, you also kind of have to protect yourself by, once you find out somebody is like that, you have to establish very strong boundaries for yourself if you want to continue that friendship, because you put yourself at risk of being taken advantage of if you knowingly continue to hang out with somebody that acts in suspicious ways. Um, so yeah.
Seems
Yeah,
like communication is always.
Go ahead, bro.
It seems like communication is all. It seems like communication is always the problem here. Always. I don't know what type of friends you got, or if you just automatically assumed without, like you just said, you just didn't have no conversation with them at all. You just automatically said, all right, well, this is my day, so we just gonna go in here, we're gonna run it up, and I'm not even gonna look at this. I'm gonna let y'all handle it. It don't work like that. That's super rude. Then we're talking about a group setting. If this was a one-on-one intimate situation, that's a little different. But nah, I'm carrying my own cash. I don't even want you to order anything for me. I'm so introverted, extra, like I'll just I'll be the one that order my stuff before everybody else order their stuff, so I'll have mine, and you ain't got to worry about the extra bill. I already have mine taken care of, because I don't want that little everybody looking at each other like, all right, who's gonna? Not me, not me. Is it you? Is you? Is you? Who? Nope, not doing it. Sure as hell not doing it.
Yeah, there has to be a, you know, a prior notification, if you may, what to expect before you go, you know. But some people don't do that. Personally, for me, and this could go, for anybody. If I'm going out for dinner, even if they ask me, if it's family, I pay every time. I pay every time. I don't even worry about it. They can order what they want, and I just pay, and then everything's cool. And I'm fortunate to be in that situation, you know. Uh, but when it comes to parties and stuff like that, I don't think I'm entitled, but I'm expecting someone else to be footing the bill unless it's like, but pay for your own drinks at the bar. That's clear. if it's pay your way, there should be, right? There should be some. You got to be knowing what to expect. You know, instead of expecting something, you should know what to expect, especially with a group of people. I mean, I've been in situations before that this started happening, people arguing about the bill and stuff like that. And you know what? I said, you know what, everybody, listen, I got this. Because that's the worst thing to happen. You got 10 people arguing, and hey, I got the cash in my pocket. I'll just do it. That's the way I am. But when it's not like that, and there's nobody doing that, it's a mess, man. And when I get there, if I'm not expected to pay the bill, I always ask the person that arranged the party beforehand, privately, is this a covered bill, or should I pay for myself and my guest? That's what I have to say about it.
I want to segue over to this last clip to kind of conclude the rest of the show. This one is maybe a minute.
Okay.
A little over a minute. I'm going to play it. Get y'all thoughts on it. Wrap up. Anything you want to say about this one or the other one? Came across this one on TikTok, so shout out to TikTok for giving me more content to cover.
Macedonia into a... We're not going to be jumping these barbed wires on this fence. Of course not. Hiking trail. So it's just as though you're here, right? We're on one hand is the hiking trail, beautiful hiking trail. We're going to hike if we have a little bit of time. We have the barbed wire fence surrounding this area. Now, track with me. Here's the hiking trail, goes all the way to Canada, and then here's all of the area without any fence in front of it, goes behind those beautiful mountains down to a stream over there, maximum 10 yards, shallow stream that you're able to cross. So if you want to cross the border legally, you come here, wait in line or whatever on a day. We're here on a Saturday, so there's not a traffic day. You can come right on in. But let's say you don't want to do it that way for whatever reason. Maybe you're Brazilian ex-military and you've killed 10 people and you want to get into this country illegally. Maybe you're actually somebody who's smuggling more people in this country. You think they're going to come where the barbed wire fence is? I don't think so. You might take the literally more scenic route, the hiking trail, come back around the beautiful countryside, particularly beautiful in autumn now. Leaves are changing, get a nice view too. And then you cross that stream. We're not going to be jumping these barbed wire.
I saw a video about a guy crossing a border. Is that the same video?
Nah. But it's probably around the same subject. They basically saying it's super easy to do. You don't really have to go through this movie prop-ish setup to scale a 30-foot fence or nothing like that. You can pretty much just walk here, climb over a 4-foot rock, and you're right there. That's all that was. That one, and then there's like 17 other videos that I saw that were pretty much saying the same thing. It is not secure. Nobody's there watching. or patrolling is pretty easy. There's one video I watched where the construction crew was still building and people were literally running through the construction site, crossing over. A dog followed them. It was funny as hell. I ain't gonna hold you. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of that. So
Hey,
I guess my question. Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, hey, you got a topic about construction? Let me in. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, well, Trump was talking all this crap about building the border and the wall and this, that, and the third, but clearly that ain't working. And yeah, what do we do with that? What do you say to something like this?
What I say is, whenever you create a deterrent or a blockage, it's always going to be overcome. It's just like a law. A law says you cannot go over 55 miles per hour. But laws, I understand, but some laws, not all laws, of course, but they have to be able to be bent, or else it would be a dictatorship, you know? So, with that video with the guy talking about the people going hiking and they had a trail and they had a fence, you know, I didn't hear any like promoter, like we have all these people that are going to do this and they're on their own and they all self-pay, or I don't know what that was really. I couldn't get that one, but I don't know. I just believe, don't be selfish, be generous as much as you can, and you don't worry about these things. But communication at the beginning is the foundation of everything. That's what I have to say about that.
First of all, I cannot emphasize how much I hate Vivek Ramaswamy. He is the epitome of all of the things that I do not like about politicians. But I've basically what you said, Mike. I've always thought that borders were kind of a waste because if somebody wants to get into America, they're gonna get into America. Like when people are desperate enough to come to a foreign country, an unfamiliar place, to get food for their children, or to find a job, or to try and escape war or a dangerous city in the middle of a dangerous country, they don't care. They don't care what they have to do to get over and get into the country. Also, as you were saying, Mel, like these borders are not good. In Trump's first campaign or first presidency, I think he built 60 or 66 miles of wall, which is hilarious because just because I have this article up, the Canadian border is 8,891 kilometers. And if I remember correctly, kilometers are larger than miles. So imagine how much money, manpower, and time that would take to build a over 8,000 mile long wall. And also, their biggest argument for not wanting illegal immigration, besides the fact that they're taking all of our resources. It's the drug epidemic. But if you look at the numbers, Canadians smuggle more of those drugs from America than they are smuggling drugs into America. We are the producer of most of these drugs. And so a moot point, like it's not going to help because we are the ones creating the drug problem in the first place. For some of the drugs, I should say. And then lastly, it's very difficult to, or okay, it's not. They're trying to kind of turn us into a North Korea, I think, where they want to cut us off from both ends. That way we are essentially cut off from the rest of the world, because then if you have two highly secured borders and then you have two oceans on the other side, we become stuck. We become at the mercy of the people running the country. And so to me, I just think the border wall is to capture us, not keep other people out. So that's why I find it so alarming that this administration is so excited to get everyone out and keep everyone out because of what it signals to the rest of the world. And also, at this point, who's gonna want to come into the U.S. at this point with how everything's going? I think most people want to leave now.
Yeah.
Most of us. Go ahead. You got it.
Yeah, honestly, I'm in Thailand, right? I'm 64, and I care. I do care, but I don't hear about it much unless I really look at the news, which the news here is in Thai, but I have to get it on Netflix or YouTube. And there's a lot of things I'm not aware of, but I'm aware of this tariff, and I didn't know if they were. You could correct me if I'm wrong. I didn't know that they were going to continue building the wall, and also, are they planning on building a wall in Canada? Are they talking about building a wall?
From what I've heard, they're trying to plan to build a wall on both ends of the US, which is ridiculous because there's literally like vertical cliffs and rivers and like all sorts of natural obstacles that will already make it difficult. Plus, like one side is frigid cold and the other side is super hot. So then you're also going to be putting all those workers at risk when they're building this stupid wall.
What do you think about the Hudson? I think the lakes.
That too.
It's not going to work. I think that is just nonsense, and I don't even think about whether it's going to work or not. It won't, and he does not have that much power. He cannot force people to do labor that is unjust, and Congress, Democrat or Republican, I don't care. Congress is gonna stop that so much, because if we're gonna pay for it, that's a budget that's a waste of money. Because if you build a wall, that means there is a limit, and anybody can overcome that limit. I mean, the Great China Wall didn't work, did it? So if they want security, then everybody, I mean, I believe it's even outrageous to say that everybody should carry their passport in the U.S. But if you want something like that, make that happen. You know, you can be asked for your passport at any time from an official. But I think he's nuts. Sorry, I got a cold. I think he's nuts. And everybody's hating him. He's creating bad relationships across the globe. And you can see that our markets are driven by how people feel and if they're afraid and if they're mad. And we, from what I've heard, because I'm not there, that people are very against him. They're all against it. Most of them. I mean, and I think the majority should win. So I think he's just paranoid. I think he's a racist. I think he's paranoid. I think that if he could keep his mouth shut for a minute, he could be don't say anything bad about, but he could be a good president if he just used his knowledge about business and he had his aides, confronting the public, because you can't have a guy like that giving any speech. You just, anybody could be a good president, but every president needs to be coached. And I don't know who his coaches are, but they don't seem to be doing too much coaching to me. I just think all this nonsense that he's created is bad for the economy. Also, that I do not like men. I don't care if you're president or a neighbor. I don't like it when I know that men are in power that have a big, that everybody's watching. I don't like it when they cheat. If they're married and they cheat and they do it, especially if they do it in some ridiculous way with many women, or that's why I didn't like Bill Clinton. And Hillary went along with it, and I was wondering what the heck was going on with that. But I think that's just another reason why I don't like Trump.
I just looked it up, and it would cost about $2 million per mile to build the wall, and they want one on both ends. Personally, I don't even think they're ever going to build the wall, because I don't know how true this is or not. This is from a documentary, so obviously, like, some of them might not have accurate facts, but I have heard discussion that they secretly enjoy having migrants, especially from Mexico, come in, because they're doing a lot of the farming work and hard labor that Americans ultimately refuse to do. Even when there are job shortages, people still tend to avoid the hardest working jobs. People don't want to work in mines. People don't want to work in fields. People don't want to work in like highly back-breaking work type situations. So I've heard that they don't try and actually put in actual effort to stem the flow because of the benefits to the market, especially because when you're under the rate when you're trying to be under the radar, you're willing to take any pay that you can get. So you're willing to work for less wages. You're willing to work for poor treatment, under poor treatment. You're willing to work in illegal situations. So they are if you want to take advantage of people and make the most money possible, they're the people that they like.
Gee, if I could save money, I would too. That wall ain't getting built. They're probably going to do some of it. They're not going to be able to complete that. And I do believe it's another scare tactic to give people a false sense of hope. All these clips that I'm seeing is basically them taunting Trump for real. Because one sheriff was like, all you need to do is throw on a pair of shoes and you're across the border. It don't take much.
Right.
Nobody's there watching and guarding that 24 hours a day. And even if they did have the ability to do it, you know how much time people have to get over here? I don't know. It's not really a big deal to me necessarily. My only issues come with criminals and things like that coming over here, and I'm not working in the mine either, Sydney. So I'm claustrophobic. I do not want to be stuck in those tight spaces, and the possibility of rocks and shit falling and collapsing in on me, and I'm stuck underground. No, I'm good on that.
Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't either.
You know what?
Yeah,
I would. I honestly, I would if I was looking. If I knew the mine had gemstone in it. I'm not claustrophobic. I've worked in the asbestos industry, and I've had to crawl myself more than 300, 400 feet in maybe 3 foot by 3 foot and remove the pipe in the middle. Claustrophobia is not a problem for me, but that wall is not going to get built. There's just no way. Like you said, how can you guard it? You can't guard it. However tall it is, someone's going to come up with a plan to scale it. That's what a wall really has two meanings: keep out or risk coming in. You know, and there are a lot of riskers. So, and I don't even think the stability of that wall, it would have to be, I mean, just, come on, man. It would have it would, and if the people guarding the wall, they're just gonna go on the ground with I mean, have you ever heard of C4? I think that'll work. You know, I think there's just a control freak tactic, scare tactic. We all know the wall cannot be built, and even if it was, it would take way too much money out of the economy. You cannot pay for that. Like, I don't know what you said. How much per mile? Time 2,000.
2 million.
20 million.
Okay.
20.
Yeah.
3 million per mile is 8,000 times 3 million.
It was 20 million.
How many?
20.
Sorry, cut off.
20 million
million.
per
No,
mile.
20 million miles. 8,000 miles. So if you got your calculator, what's that? Probably hasn't eaten.
Don't ask me about no.
Without a
Math.
calculator, isn't it like 1.6 billion or something?
Probably.
Or probably more.
And you got to do Primus. He's going to say, if you come near me, I'll chop your head off. He likes to talk big, and that's why he's a bad president, because he doesn't have the emotional intelligence to talk to people and make people proud to be an American. He's showing other countries that he's running a country. And now a lot of people are not proud. I want to be proud of my president. I know he can make mistakes, but come on, man, don't be going around building walls and saying nobody's welcome like a racist, and cheating on your wife and all that stuff. Come on, man. That's so disrespectful. I don't know. I can't believe he just got elected. We got 4 more years of this. I don't know. But I'm in Thailand. I'm sorry, but I got no problems here. I got no problems here.
How dare you?
Hey, it is what it is. I'm about to get me a passport, and Lord willing, I'm up out of here too. For real. That man don't care about making friends or nothing. Everybody that he's associating himself with, they're all on a spectrum as far as I'm concerned. So my final thoughts, I don't really know how I feel about it. I'm not surprised at it. People have been coming and going for years and years and years. And we are the drug dealers. We are the pushers. Our government is the real cartel. They just disguised it in suit ties and upscale skirts and cardigans. That's all. As far as table manners and etiquette, if you cheap and you broke, don't go nowhere. If you don't want to help out and show love to your friends celebrating or whatever the case may be, and you're a freeloader, stay the hell away. Like I can't stand freeloaders, and I can't stand people who are cheap but want to spend everybody else's money. Like that's crazy to me, man. It's no wonder why y'all miserable or in constant drama, because y'all be sowing some of the most fruitless futures for yourself, doing people real shisty. I'm good. I know how to cook, so I don't necessarily have to go out anywhere. I can fix my own meals. It's nothing to it.
Yeah.
Any final words?
Yeah, my final word. No, you go. Ladies first.
In terms of the bad table etiquette, as all of you guys have said, bring your own money. A lot of people forget to bring their own money because debit cards are fine, come here. Most people just have debit cards and credit. Oh my God, please. Just have plastic to pay for stuff these days instead of paper. So people really have to start bringing their own money with them, and again, not having that entitlement and thinking that everyone else owes you something. In terms of the border, I do not think it will work. They want it to work, but it's not going to work. Also, I forgot to mention there's 2 fault lines that cross over where the border would go as well. So that also won't end very well. So yeah, I don't see it as feasible in the slightest. I think it's just some sort of for show or tactic. I don't know what they think they're going to get out of this, but possibly funds that they can misallocate to something else. But yeah, I think it's absolutely ridiculous. I can't believe this is our president, and I also wish I could leave the country because this whole situation is frankly quite crazy. I'm amazed that I'm actually living through a time like this. Other than that, yeah, I enjoyed talking about this.
Yeah, my final are the wall won't first for the etiquette on the dinner for the party or whatever it was for. It's got to be said. You know, if it's not said, something's wrong, and then it's gonna cause chaos. You know, so you either say, "I got this. I got the bill." I mean, you don't even use any slang. Say it in exact, clear English that I am paying for everybody. I mean, that's what I would do. You know, if I'm not, then I'm assuming that somebody else is. And if I was wrong, I'd bring my cash. So, but I believe the right thing to do is just build the. I'm a construction and soil engineering guy. Okay, and I believe that the foundation. I use that word a lot. The foundation of the entire party or get together has to be when upon the invite. You know, you can't just uh, make someone wonder. No, that's not right because that brings people awkward. A lot of people are very introverted. They say they don't want to call and ask. You know, so I just think that if you're going to somebody's party, you would think you're not going to pay, but if it comes out to be that way, yeah, you just you throw in some money to it in an envelope and you give it to them. What are they going to say? You know. And as for the Trump, he's just angry. He's angry. He's been very angry for 4 years, and I think a lot of this is his emotional state. I don't think he's capable of having the emotional intelligence in the first place. Because, like, okay, Barack Obama, I love the guy, I really do. He's from my hometown. That doesn't matter, but I think he was so good at letting the public know what was going on. And I think he was more credible and believable. And I know there were problems in his administration, but he didn't always have chaos going on. You know, that's a big thing. If you got a president or a king that's got chaos going on, doesn't matter whether it's a wall, but obviously Trump is a racist. Okay, that is like, I don't know. There's a lot of number ones, but that's the number one thing for me is not allowing someone in your country because of their skin or their origin. That don't make sense. Even if he might let someone in that's white enough. And that makes me, honestly, it makes me angry. And that I don't want that to bring the bad out in me, because that's part of the reason why I left. And I think that he's nuts, and he's got another move coming, believe me. I don't know what it's going to be, but it's going to be, no pun intended, off the wall. So that's my final thought.
Well, I thank you both for tuning in tonight, sharing y'all thoughts on both of these subjects. Shout out to Lucas. Shout out to Light and Love. Everybody that's in the building watching with us this evening. You're going to see a lot of me tomorrow. Hopefully I can sleep some of this. I don't know. I think it's actually the rain that got me like this. I see somebody just pulled up in the studio. Hold on a second.
Got them cameras going.
He's a poet from my class.
Okay. What's going on?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good.
Thank you for the invite, Sydney. So cool.
Glad you're good.
My name's Mike.
Carl.
Nice to know you.
Just call me Mel.
Awesome. Okay. Nice to meet all y'all.
Good.
Likewise. We are at the closing end of the show, but
okay, cool.
I think it would be dope. I mean, being as how you just pulled up, you can introduce yourself to the people. Anything you want to share with us while we got you up here, I would love nothing more than to hear what you got for us. Shout out to Sydney, and I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, sorry I'm late. I wasn't for sure the time, and I'm just glad she invited me. So I'll next time I have a chance to get in, I'll try to make 5. I can't wait to see what happens in the show. So I'm originally from a really small town in central Kansas. You guys are out in Colorado, or is that where you guys are based out of?
I'm in California.
Okay, gotcha. Okay,
I'm in Thailand.
What's that?
I'm in Thailand.
Oh, okay, I got you. Cool. I'm originally from central Kansas, moved to St. Augustine, Florida for a few years, and now I'm out here in LA, so Los Angeles. So and got into the CLI class, Community Literature Initiative. We're getting books published here in a month, and that's where I met Sydney. So that's where I come in.
Awesome, awesome. Well, I'm from Washington D.C., so just everybody's from a different part of the world up here. Um, Shout outs though is a privilege and an honor to have a variety of different folk come up here. Um, I definitely encourage you to come up here the next time. I am trying to do this next Friday, so you're more than welcome to tap in with us again.
Okay.
I just want
Cool.
I just want to make sure that you get some time here tonight while we're Friday. We about to go into the weekend, and I'm curious. Is there something that you had that you wanted to share with us, or
I didn't have anything off the top of my head, but I have volumes, so I could just rattle one off, I suppose.
okay. So we'll do it like this. I'll let you be the one to close us out.
Okay, awesome. Wow, cool. So whenever you guys are ready, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right. So this is all right. Let me run it down real quick. So like when we do these open mics, depending on how many people come up, there's like a rotation order. Uh, we might do 2 poems. We might do 3 poems. Anytime someone reads, I give them the solo, so it'll look like this. And then once you finish reading, I just go to the next person, and until everybody is read, and we close out. And yeah, that's pretty much the setup.
Okay, gotcha. Cool.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you the solo, and just do your thing, enjoy yourself, relax. We just having a good time up here. And yeah, whenever you ready.
Okay, I'll just do a short one to close it out. Then I wrote this when I was 19. Well, that had been like 28 years ago, and it's always stuck with me. So this is called "My Lady Malady." I plunged into a pool of peace and penetrated its ephemeral presence. I kissed beauty and killed her. I wandered through happiness and wondered why. I swallowed a sprinkle of serenity and disguised disease. I tasted temptation on your Tourette tongue and turned away, teased. I forgave naivety. Now I must learn to celebrate innocence.
Yeah, I'm glad you pulled up when you did. That was a perfect way to close out. I
Thank you.
love I love the open mics. I love hearing other people read, express themselves. Um,
That was good. That sounded like that came from your heart and experience. And at the end, like with a poem, I'm not a poet, but it's sort of like there's an introduction, a middle, and an end. Sometimes yours went like through that, and in the end, it sounded like all the things that had happened. You now you have the wit, and I like a poem like that. It doesn't have to be all rhyming, but yeah, that was good. I like that. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I always loved how descriptive your pieces are. They always have such a nice story type flow to them.
Thank you. Honestly, thank you for in sending me this link, Sydney. I really appreciate that.
Absolutely, and the link works for each poetry event. So whenever you are free on a Friday, we always start at 5, and you can always use that link. If it changes,
Okay.
I can just send you a new one.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. I'm going to try to get it. I'm on my phone now. I'm going to try to get it. I couldn't get on through my laptop, so I'll try to figure that out between now and next week.
Awesome. We'll be glad to have you.
All right, all right. Hey,
So you're sorry to interrupt, but I just I need to be clear because my time difference. Your your Eastern Standard Time, and your time to start is 7 p.m. your time,
right.
Fridays. Okay, that's
All
for me.
right.
That's Saturday for
I appreciate you for staying up with us, because I know I would have been in bed snoring right about now. So,
yeah. Here I'm just starting my day.
well, you enjoy yours. I know I'm about to wind down. I had a long week and I need some sleep. So tomorrow I'll get back at it. Um, I will see you guys next Friday, Lord willing. Looking forward to hearing some more from you. And yeah, thank you to everybody who pulled up tonight. Y'all have a blessed weekend. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I will see you guys tomorrow, some of you.
All right. See you Monday, Mel, and I'll see you on Thursday, Carl.
Absolutely.
All right.
All right.
All
Thank
right,
you
guys.
all.
Have a good weekend.
Thank
You
you
too.
all. It was
Same,
a
same.
pleasure.